You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good morning and welcome to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Coffee with Graeme is, of course, brought to you by Pure Innata, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Thursday morning so far. If you guys are on the road, if you're at work, in the office, or if you're at home, wherever you guys are, I hope that you're enjoying your Thursday morning so far. And I'm also hoping that you guys are ready and excited to watch this edition of Coffee with Graeme. It's going to be a good one. We got three great guests joining the show today, and this first guest is a baseball player from Winkler, Manitoba. He's a center fielder. He played NCAA Division I ball this season for the Southern Illinois University Salukis. It's Tristan Peters. Tristan joined me today to talk about his first season with the Salukis. He also talked about the team he's playing for now, the Savannah Bananas in the Coastal Plain League. It's a summer baseball collegiate league, and I also had a chance to ask Tristan about some of the other places that he's played at in his baseball career. That's all coming up on this first interview. Well, in this first interview on this edition of Coffee with Graeme with Tristan Peters, sophomore for the Southern Illinois University Salukis and a player for the Savannah Bananas on this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Joining me now is a player from D1 Baseball. He played Southern Illinois University this season. He's playing with the Savannah Bananas as well at this point in his season. It's Tristan Peters from Winkler, Manitoba. Tristan, how are you doing? How's life going in the college lifestyle?
Oh, it's going good. Had a fun year and just having more fun now this summer, so it's good.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to finally be getting some hot weather. And I know where you are. I mean, the weather must be pretty hot. It must be pretty nice. The weather's been good throughout the time you've been with the Savannah Banana, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been pretty decent. It's been warm. A lot of rain though. That's the only downside. It's pretty humid here.
Yeah, it's never bad to get rain, but sometimes it's not the greatest. But yeah, just you played with Southern Illinois this season, Southern Illinois University, the Salukis. You played in 60 games. You had 217 at bats, 53 runs, 77 hits, 55 RBIs, a batting average of .355, which is absolutely insane, and 6 home runs. Just what was it like coming in to your first season playing in D1 baseball and being able to put up that type of production with this team this year?
Well, when I first going in, I was I'm nervous everywhere when I move to a new place anyway, but just being at Division I, I was kind of scared to see how I stacked up against other people on the team. And I did well. I ended up doing pretty well. And and then I just had a lot of fun with the guys, and we had a really good team too, 40 wins, and that was just so much fun.
Yeah, and just you had the most hits on the team. You were second on the team in batting average. There was a significant difference in the ABs, so you did it in less ABs too, just having more hits. third in RBIs and sixth in home runs. Just what for you stood out the most in your game for you to be able to have this type of production in year one?
I mean, we hit a lot at our school. We probably hit more than any team in the country, and I think that helped me a lot this year with being consistent. Kind of staying consistent through the season. I mean, I had probably 2 big slumps that I can remember, but I mean, other than that, I stayed really consistent just because of the amount of swings I took, and that helped me a ton, and it helped our whole team too.
Yeah, and you also helped on the defensive side of things. You had a perfect fielding percentage, third most putouts with 139, and sixth in catches with 141. What was it like just being able to have such a successful season on the defensive side of things against the type of competition that you guys played against?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's a lot easier to be perfect as an outfielder. I mean, you also see when you look at those stats, you see that I had 1,000 fielding percentage, but there's also other mental errors that happen. So I wouldn't say I was perfect out there, but I got what I needed to do, or I did what I needed to do, and I mean I don't focus a ton on the defensive side, especially since I'm in the outfield. I like to focus a lot on hitting, but I mean, I made a few catches that really saved our pitchers or our team, I guess, from runs, scoring. I've had a couple diving catches, but other than that, like outfield is, it's a lot easier than the infield to be perfect, especially since we play on a turf field. That was kind of nice, but yeah, and then you don't even get bad hops in the outfield, and that's usually where outfielders make their errors. So yeah.
Yeah. And, just like you said, easier playing in the outfield than in the infield. But for you, what would you say is your strengths as a player in the outfield? I mean, it seems like you got a good arm. It seems like you got the speed to track these balls down when you need to, even if they come to you easy. But what would you say is probably your biggest strength as an outfielder?
I think my biggest strength is my reads. I see the ball pretty well off the bat, and you see a lot of outfielders take pretty poor routes. I mean, obviously, I can't be perfect with those either. I've let a few balls drop because of that, but I tend to not do that a ton. So I get the right read on a lot of balls, and I think that's just because we work on reads a lot too in BP, and we really focus on not taking any reps off in BP and stuff.
Did you play center fielder, right fielder, left fielder, or did you kind of jump through each position a few times?
I played center field the entire season.
Yeah, nice. So just looking at this team, like you said, you guys had 40 wins this season. You guys won 15 and 13 in conference, 26 and 10 at home, 12 and 10 on the road, 2 in neutral field sites. You guys put up a lot of runs. You guys had a lot of hits as well. And I was looking on Twitter, and I saw that you guys ended up not qualifying for the big tournament, the College World Series. Just what was that like, just not being able to qualify after having just such a great season?
I think we kind of expected it at the end there. Obviously, the entire season, our whole goal was to get into regionals or into a regional. But once we got to the end there, even though we had 40 wins, we were literally just trying to like beg them to pick us for a regional because of the amount of wins we got. Not a lot of teams do that, but I think what really hurt us was losing games we shouldn't have lost, like against the last place team in our conference. We lost 3 out of 4 to them, Valparaiso. And then we lost to Bradley 3 out of 4 too. And those are just games we can't lose or we shouldn't lose. But so we kind of expected that. And our going into the conference tournament, we were really thinking we had to go deep into it. And we ended up getting 3rd place. But we need to either win it or get to the finals in order if we wanted to get in that large or to make regional. But yeah.
How much does that decision, of not being picked go into just the motivation that not only you're going to have next season coming in, but just the team in general to get to that place?
I mean, it was devastating, honestly. Like we kind of expected it, but it still hit us hard when we didn't get picked. And it's really sad because we had a ton of seniors. I think we had at least 10 seniors or that was their last year. And we even though we did so well and we had such a good team, we still didn't get picked. So it's kind of sad, but I mean that's just motivation for next year. Our coaches are motivated to get into a regional even more so than this year, and they were very motivated this year. So yeah, I think you could see a big things happening next year with us. So we'll see.
Yeah, and for you to have so much success in year one, just what would you say are probably the things that you feel you need to continue to improve, keep working on heading into next season with Southern Illinois University?
I think the biggest thing, I need to better my arm. My arm is not super strong like some outfielders. I mean, I had two assists, but it got a lot better throughout the season, and I still need to work on that. I also think base running is a huge thing. I made a few mistakes, not a ton, and they weren't terrible. It's not like they lost us games or anything, but that could always be refined too. And then just staying consistent with hitting. Like I got to keep hitting as much as possible. Just hit every day. And
What was the feel like in the room this season? Just not only in the room, but on the field with just the type of leadership that you guys had from, like you said, like 10 seniors, just the experience that showed throughout the team this season.
yeah, we had a really old team. A lot of JUCO players or transfers, and a lot of seniors. So I think we had one freshman, one true freshman, and I think it really showed in the amount of wins we played or we won, and like we just had really good leadership. One of my teammates, Nick Neville, I probably learned the most from him. He taught me so much, and and he taught a lot of other people. He was a funny guy. He just knew the game so well because he was a fifth year senior, and he'd been in the game, and he's been to like 4 different schools while in college. So he's seen a lot of different things. So having people like that on the team is huge, and that also helps us when we lose, helps us like take the loss and move on to the next game. I think we still could have done better on that on coaching and player side. So, but that's you just learn from your mistakes. So.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be happening with this team going into next season. If you guys are able to make it further than you did this season, qualifying for a regional, we're going to go to our first commercial break here in today's show. I've been joined by Tristan Peters, player for the Southern Illinois University Salukis, plays for the Savannah Bananas at this point in his season. We're going to talk about his time with the Savannah Bananas coming up in just a moment. But first, we're going to go to our first commercial break. Stick with us. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Tristan Peters, sophomore for the Southern Illinois University Salukis, joins me on the show right now. We've been talking about a season with Southern Illinois University. Now we're going to dive into what it's been like playing with the Savannah Bananas in the Coastal Plain League, a baseball league. It's a summer collegiate league. It consists of 16 teams throughout North and South Carolina, featuring college top college players from around the country. So just for you, after the season you had with Southern Illinois University, why decide to take your talents to continue playing with the Savannah Bananas in the summer?
Well, it all started actually in the fall. My coach just asked me while we were taking BP in practice. He was like, "You want to play for the Savannah Bananas?" And I'd heard of the team before, and I'd seen all their videos and stuff, and how they have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And he told me who the coach was and stuff. So the coach, I played against the coach, Tyler Gillum, in junior college. He coached at South Mountain Community College, and we played against him multiple times. So he'd seen me play there, so he reached out to my coach, I guess. And then I signed the contract in the fall, and then I just found myself here now. So a few weeks after the season, and I'm having a blast.
Yeah, for sure. And I've had a chance to look at their Instagram, just the fun that they have, and their motto is just them making baseball fun, which is awesome. Just what's the vibe like, truly with this team, with just how, of course, you guys are doing great, 15-1, best team in the league, but just the experience of just kind of taking baseball lightly at the same time while having a good season.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say we take baseball lightly. We focus a lot more on our fans at home games,
Right.
and we're still super focused on baseball. Like
Yeah.
it may, but yeah. So our motto is making baseball fun, but we also talk about how fans are first, and so we do everything. Everything we do is for the fans. We, I mean, there's so much. It's nothing like I've ever experienced. It's a lot of fun, and it kind of takes. I mean, I guess it takes a bit of the seriousness out of baseball, which is kind of nice. Takes pressure off of players, and which sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself. So it's been nice.
Yeah, and just talking about this team, just the strengths of this team. You guys have some great pitching. One of the top pitchers in the league, if not just looking at the stats that he's been able to put up. I forget his name, but seems like you guys are good on defense. Could you just speak about the offense that this team has?
hmm Yeah, our offense is fantastic. We string a lot of hits together. I wouldn't say it's as good as our Southern Illinois offense, but that's maybe a little biased. But um, yeah, we're really good, and a lot of these guys have played here for a long time, and we recruited some really good players, not just Division 1 players, but we've got one of our best hitters, Dan Oberst. He's a Division 2 player, and he's fantastic. And I think having the fun in what we do kind of creates a good team. It just takes the pressure off, and then players play better, and that's kind of what you see with our offense, and same with our pitching and our defense. But yeah.
Yeah, and just speaking about that, just getting to play with all these different types of players from different college teams. Just what's that experience been like of just getting to play with all this different talent?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun actually because there's a couple teammates that I played against, and one specifically from Mercer University. We played them in the beginning of our season at Southern Illinois. I think they were our second or third weekend. I think it was the second weekend, and we swept them, and we played unbelievable there. And he can't stop talking about how good our bats were at school and all that. So it was a lot of fun. And then there's other teammates I played against. One from Murray State University, Bloomer is his name, his last name. And then it's just nice to meet people that aren't just Division 1. There's junior college players, there's Division 2 players, and you kind of get a feel for how they were. I guess they practice at their schools and how they play. And it's just some teams are different, some teams are similar, so it's really cool.
Speaking about the fans now, just like you said, something that you've never really had a chance to experience before. Just what's it been like being able to play in front of these fans at games like at home games with the Savannah Bananas?
You'd think it'd make you nervous because they're all sold out crowds. Every game is
Yeah.
sold out from now till the end of the summer. But honestly, it just kind of they're on your side, And sure, it's really, really loud at some points. Like I remember one at bat the other day, I was like, I cannot focus. I ended up getting a hit, thankfully, but I was like, I'm not locked in right now. And so it kind of does have that effect, but it is so much fun to play and so much fun to hear the super loud chants that they'll do. And I just feel bad for the other team, honestly. It gives us a huge advantage. It's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's like if you can't focus and you play on the team, like at points you can't focus, it's like, well, what's the other team gonna have
Exactly.
the mentality? Like, yeah, for sure. But just do you think that that's a big plus for you just going into games like this, playing in front of big crowds when you guys are at home, to just practicing keeping that mentality up?
Oh, I think it's really good for players. I think it kind of helps your mentality and focusing at the plate, kind of blocking out everything, all the distractions. I've been kind of used to it because I played in the Western Canadian Baseball League, and we got a lot of fans at Okotoks Dawgs. So this was they're probably loud. They're way louder here. So it's just the next step, and I think it gets you ready for the next level of baseball too when you get more fans.
Yeah, and I did see on Twitter, I think it was you going up to bat. It was like I think the band was playing the John Cena intro. Yeah, just describe what that experience was like.
That was so funny. So they'd been doing it for a while already.
Yeah.
I think they started. I don't know if they started it last year. They might have started this year, but hadn't gone viral or anything. And then they, before the game, one of our interns was like, who wants to go up with the band?" And I was like, you know what, why not? So I raised my hand, and he just picked me. And yeah, and then one of my players or one of my teammates said that they're doing John Cena, so he was like, "You got to do the no, you can't see me thing." So I did that. You can't really see it in the video,
Yeah.
but I did that, and I looked at the other team's dugout, and yeah, and then I found out went viral, and John Cena retweeted it and all that. I was like, "Wow, that's incredible!" But nobody knows that it's me. But it was
That's incredible. That's nuts. John Cena retweets it. It goes viral. That's amazing. That's great. Just moving back into this team, you guys have a game tonight at 7 Eastern time, correct?
correct.
Yeah. What's the preparation been like? Just getting ready for this game today. Just talk about the opponent that you guys are going up against.
I have no idea what to expect with this team that we're playing against because I haven't played against them yet. I know that we beat them. Obviously, we're 15-1. We played them and we beat them already. So
Yeah.
I don't think we really focus too much on what we're gonna see opponent wise. We focus just a lot on the show. Honestly, we have a whole paper in our locker room that says who's on this, and then that's kind of our preparation for the night at home games anyway. And so there's like player dances, there's all this other stuff, and then the people who are playing, they will mostly just focus on baseball, and they can get in on some of the craziness if they want. And so yeah, but yeah, that's our preparation.
Yeah, that's great. Keeping it fun, keeping
Yeah.
it. I guess like obviously you guys take baseball seriously, like you said, but keeping it more lighthearted than
Mhm.
like your game day routine would be like with the Salukis for sure. Just moving into the later parts of the season, just you guys are the first place team in the league, of course, right now. Just it seems like you guys would be the favorite to go in and win the championship. Just how is the championship on your guys' mind
Oh,
at this point? Yeah.
yeah, of course. I mean, there's some teams that we don't play in regular season that I think are going to be tougher opponents because we play like Macon Bacon, Lexington County, uh, Florence, and Spartanburg, and they're all on the low end of the standings. But that also might just be because we beat them all the time and because we're good. But so, I mean, I'm excited to see how we'll do against those higher level teams on the standings anyway. So
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting to see how far this team can go when playoff time comes. If you guys can continue to have the dominance like you guys have already shown that you can dominate in this league. But just moving away from the Savannah Bananas, moving into just where you played before, just starting college ball. You played for Okotoks, right? Or how you pronounce it? Yeah, just. How many seasons did you spend with that team with the Dawgs?
Are you talking about the college team? Because I went to high school there too.
The high school team.
Yeah, so I went there for 2 years in high school, and then my freshman year at my junior college, I went in the summer. I went to play for their college team in the college summer league.
Nice. And it was in high school where you guys ended up winning the championship. Yeah,
No, that was the college team.
that was college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we won plenty of tournaments in high school, but we weren't in a league. So
Yeah. So just what was that experience like of just being a part of a championship team? And for you, just looking at the stats, you led in almost every major statistic on offense, and ABs, hits, runs, and RBIs, had the fourth best batting percentage on the team, or batting average. Just what was that like to be such a huge part of a championship team that you guys had that season?
it was a lot of fun. We just had our team bonded super well, and I think that's the reason we won it all. We all got along really well, especially with the coaches and the players. It wasn't like there was like um you had to like submit to the coaches or whatever, but like they were your friends, and it was just a lot of fun to play for them. And I think that just helped us just stay loose. It was summer ball is a lot more relaxed than school, so it was a lot like the Bananas, but not nearly as high as entertainment as here. But yeah, we just had a really good team atmosphere, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, and like you spoke about the fans with the Savannah Bananas. Just speak about what types of fans, the amount of fans that you guys would have coming out to your games during that season.
In the Okotoks season,
Yeah,
yeah, I think we averaged 4,000 fans. It's slightly lower than here in Savannah, but still a ton of fans, and it was so much fun. It's changed this year because of COVID, but yeah, like it was just, and the fans some people didn't even know baseball, and which was really cool because they get to experience it, and then
yeah,
they come on the field, you get to sign kids' balls, and sign whatever they want, and it's just fun to meet all these new people and people who haven't experienced baseball and kind of um, make baseball their favorite sport almost.
yeah, no doubt. Just being able to play in front of crowds like that in Okotoks. Just speak about for you. Just it's clear that you were in my opinion, just looking at the stats, the best player on the team in terms of offense. You know, you like I said, you had the most ABs, you had the most hits, runs, RBIs, fourth in batting average. Just for that season, playing for Okotoks, just how would you say that your game was able to grow on the offensive side of things?
I think it helped a lot that I was used to wood bat because at my junior college we used wood bats, and I was more, I guess you could say, used to it than some of the other players that were using metal in school, and it really helped me. And then just knowing the coaching staff, we had so many resources in Okotoks. Like our facilities were insane, and having the coaches there that I'd known since high school, it really taught me a lot, and they continued to teach me while I was there. And I just kind of like I let loose too, and just had fun with it. And I think that's why I had a pretty successful summer.
Yeah, and just being able to win a championship when you guys finally reached the goal of getting to that pinnacle. Just what was it like, just being able to raise that trophy above your head, knowing that you guys were champs?
It was crazy because it wasn't an easy battle up there. I remember playing in Edmonton against the Prospects, and we should have won that game. And I remember just being really upset that we lost that game, and then we had to go back to play a third game. We ended up winning it, and then we went to Regina to play the first game of the finals. Finals. That was a long drive, and then we had a game like the next day, and then we had to drive all the way back, and we just didn't want to go. If we would have lost that, we would have had to go back to Regina, and we were not wanting to go all the way back there. And so it was kind of a relief winning, but it was so much fun in front of all those people. And just it brought, like, those people haven't seen baseball, like I said before, some of them, and they got to see us dogpile on the field. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great. And it seems like a lot of great memories created in that year and throughout your whole career with the Dawgs, just their teams that they had in Okotoks. Just for you, did you also have a chance in your baseball life to play in the 2017 Canada Summer Games with Team Manitoba? You were on that team?
Yeah, I was, and that was a lot of fun too because we went really far.
Yeah, you guys ended up losing to Team Saskatchewan in the gold medal game, right, at Shaw Park. Just explain what that experience was like for you, playing for a gold medal in front of your home province here in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yeah, it was super fun. We played at Shaw Park. I think we had 7,000 fans, so that was the most fans I've played in front of ever. I don't think we get that many in Savannah, but it was incredible just being in our home province, and we almost pulled through with it too. I mean, I wasn't on at the beginning of the tournament. I was not expecting our team to get all the way to the finals, and then because we knew Sask was a really good team, and they only beat us like 3-1 or 3-2, something like that. It was a really close game, so it was a lot of fun.
Just that experience of going out against the best players in just the country in the Canada Summer Games, just to make it that far. How much pride can you just put into words? How much pride you guys were feeling as a team being able to do what you guys did?
We felt really good about ourselves. Like, I mean, we would have loved to win it too in our home province, and just being able to like make it that far and have like our province watching us in the Canada Summer Games and winning a silver medal. It was just like, it was surreal. And I know our coaches really took that well, and they loved how far we made it. And because, they've worked their butts off to develop us as players. And then we've also worked our butts off to be better players, and just showing that in front of all these Manitobans, it was super cool.
Yeah, for sure. Just would you say that experience of playing in those Canada Summer Games is one of your favorite experiences in baseball, period?
I think it's definitely close. It's definitely top 3, no doubt about that. I mean, I've had a lot of fun playing baseball in many places. But that was definitely the highest, like, not level, but like the most pressure, because you don't get to play in front of 7,000 fans just all the time like that, and play for a gold medal in the Canada Summer Games. That's like almost like, it's not the Olympics, but it's pretty close. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So that's one of your favorite memories in your top 3. Can you say what the other 2 are on your list there?
Oh man, I honestly don't. I love just playing in Arizona. Honestly, the whole season was one of my favorite memories, just because those are my favorite years. But I don't know if I have any specific. It's just I can't name any top. Like, I can't name the number 1 or the number 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask you a few more questions, then we're gonna go to a commercial break, let you go here, let you get ready for the game that you have today. Just you played for Pembina Valley last year, the Pembina Valley Orioles in the MJBL. You ended up winning Rookie of the Year, and you were the league's batting champion. Just what was that like, going up against the top level in Manitoba like you did, and being able to have the type of success that you did last summer?
It was a lot of fun. The reason I played in that league was just because I had all the other summer teams were closed, and like Okotoks and all the other ones. I think actually the Coastal Plains here was open, but I didn't get into that, or I didn't even think of that. But it was a lot of fun, and obviously not nearly as high a competition as some of what I've experienced. But it was just a lot of fun with the guys, being with some of my childhood friends, playing against some of my old teammates, and yeah, it was really a lot of fun.
What was it like being able to play in Arizona? Like you said, those were some of your favorite times of playing baseball. Just describe what that was like. You were playing for Chandler Gilbert Community College, right? Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it was. I had a blast. My team wasn't the greatest. We didn't make playoffs both years I was there, but the one got cut short this season. But we didn't make playoffs my freshman year. But it was just so much fun. The guys and the coaches and the way we just played. It was just so much fun, and being around. I met my best friends in Arizona, and I kind of made a home there, and I really want to live there when I'm older. But we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. It would be pretty cool to go back there one day and to live there in one of your favorite places for sure. Last question before I go. Were you eligible for the MLB draft this season? Did you enter in? Yeah.
Yeah, I am eligible for the draft this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting with that?
I can't make any specific expectations really. I know I've been talking to a few teams, and then I got an advisor this year, so he's been helping me out with that. But I mean, this year's a tough one again. After same with last year, just because of COVID and it being shortened to the 20 rounds and being late in July 11th instead of June 5th.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll kind of have more of a feel for it around a week before the draft. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. It should be interesting, especially with just what's been happening throughout the past 2 years with baseball leagues and stuff with COVID. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go now, Tristan. Good luck in your game today. I hope you
Thank
guys
you.
continue your dominance with the Savannah Bananas. And yeah, we'll talk in the future if something comes up for sure. It was great having you on the show today.
All right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. That was Tristan Peters, sophomore for the Southern Illinois University Salukis, plays for the Savannah Bananas at this point in his season. And yeah, they got a game coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So it should be interesting to see how that goes. I'm going to let Tristan go now, let him prepare for the game. We'll go to our second commercial break here in today's edition of the show. Stick with us. We'll be back with more guests on this edition of Coffee with Graeme in just a moment.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind, with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Now we're moving into one of our segments, University Commits. We usually do it on our Tuesday shows, but since we didn't have a Tuesday show once again this week, we're doing it on this Thursday. And joining me is Kaitlyn Gilroy, forward for the Notre Dame Hounds in the Saskatchewan Female U18 AAA Hockey League. She committed to the University of Regina to play Cougars hockey for the 2022-2023 season. Kaitlyn joined me on University Commits. Now, Kaitlyn, how are you doing today? How's things going in Drinkwater, Saskatchewan?
Things are going good. Nothing much going on. Kind of a small town. So, how are you doing?
Doing good. It's awesome to have you on the show. And you just talk about a small town like Drinkwater, Saskatchewan. Just how's it been like growing up there?
Pretty boring, but we've been farming a lot lately, so I've been helping out there, and I've been working a lot, so it keeps me busy.
Yeah, that's great for sure. You've been able to work a lot to keep yourself busy. Of course, farming life, it seems like I'm having more and more people who live out in the country on these shows. So it's great to hear about their experiences with farming. What have your experiences with farming been like?
Pretty good. Well, I don't do much. I just kind of uh, clean things that my dad needs help with, and I don't really run much of the machinery. But yeah, so far it's been good.
That's great. Just helping out any way you can for sure. So let's move away from the farming aspect of things. Let's move into your commitment to the University of Regina. You commit there for the 2022-2023 season. How long did it take for you to choose U of R as that place you want to play your university hockey at?
I think the coach, which her name is Sarah,
Yeah.
came back with me about a year ago. So I was calling with her for a while and just like keeping my options open. But then this year, about a month ago, I really decided I wanted to go there because of how close it is to my like home, and my sister plays there as well. So it'll be ideal for my family to come watch both of us and like live together. So
Yeah.
that really pushed me to go there.
Yeah, and you've had a chance to play with your sister Ray in your first year with this team with the Notre Dame Hounds. Just with her being at the U of R, how much influence did she actually have on your decision to commit there?
Quite a bit, just because playing with her was really good. When I was in grade 9, she was in grade 12. She really like made me feel welcome, and um, it was an easier transition. So I also, it's just you don't really get the chance to play with family members, even let alone your sister. So
Yeah.
really, yeah, pushed me into the direction. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be awesome for you to reunite with her come the 2022-2023 season. So you guys have plans to live in a dorm room together, an apartment. What's the plans going to be? I mean, it's a long time away from at this point until you make that jump to university. But have you had a chance to kind of think about what the living situation is going to be like?
Well, yeah, I've got to know her friends pretty well, and I really like them. So as of right now, I want to live there, and I think they want me to live with them, from what I know. So, yeah, I probably will be living with her and her two teammates.
That's great. That's awesome. And you talked about how you've had a chance to talk with Sarah Hodges, of course. We had her on the show, I think about a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, on Inside the University, and just talking to her. It seems like she's run a consistent program throughout the years. It seems like it's going to be great for you to be able to play with this team with just how consistent the program has been. Can you talk about just the talks you were able to have with Sarah Hodges leading up to the decision to make the commitment?
Uh, well, when I first, uh, she just kind of explained like what UVAR was all about and like their policies and like what they offer for me. Of course, there it looks like a good program. It looks like a great place to develop. So she showed me that like this is where I want to be, and her coaching style looks good. So that's yeah, I guess that's what she had to show me.
She talked about the culture with me of this team when I asked her about it. It's just a hardworking team, and they try to build the best people, just on and off the ice. It seems like. Could you just speak about what type of player that this team is getting first off, and how it's going to translate into meeting those goals of just the hard work and trying to build the best people?
Yeah, I like to my a type of player I am is I'm not as much a goal scorer, but I'm more of like a playmaker, and I like to get in the corners, and I use my body a lot. So I'll be on the aspect of like setting up things, and I don't know, grinding away. Like I'm good. I'm good on the defensive side, so hopefully not many goals will go in the net. And in the gym, I'm like I work pretty hard, so I guess I'll push. Put I could. Yeah, I don't know. So.
talking about hard work and trying to build the best people in this program, just were those some of the things that came up in the conversation with Sarah Hodges?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what she was looking for, and when she saw me play, I think that's like what she thought could be like a contribute to her team, and um, it's kind of the type of player she's probably looking for my year. She said she was only going to be taking a few of my age, so um, I guess I was what she was looking for. So
Could you explain just the feeling that your family was feeling? Of course, your sister Rhea must have been so excited knowing that this was the place that you decided to choose, but just the excitement that your family showed, and just that yeah, that they showed to you once you made the decision to commit to the U of R.
yeah, on the day that I decided, I called Sarah and I let her know that I was going to play there, and then immediately I called my mom and my dad and I told them like what had happened, and they were proud of me from like everything that I've done and like come across and worked to get here. So they were pretty happy with me. My sister was very happy to have me on her team as well. So um, it was kind of a relief too. They didn't really want me to move away too far, I don't think, but um, it's nice. I can come home whenever I want, so it works out perfect.
Yeah, that'll be great. And have you signed the papers officially yet, or is it just a verbal commitment at this point?
I signed the papers, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What was that feeling like, of just being able to sign a commitment like this officially, with the pen and with the pen in your hand, the paper in front of you?
yeah. It was weird. Like for a second I wasn't, and then right after, I just the feeling of relief, like oh, like I finally made it, you know.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Did you have you decided what you might be planning to study at this point and going into your first year of university? Do you have any ideas?
I think I want to go into nursing, so it'll be a 5-year program. I've been talking to Sarah. They have it. It'll take it's a 4-year program, but with hockey it'll be a 5-year program.
That's great. What exactly interests you of potentially going down that the nursing side of things?
I just find it really interesting, and I like helping people and um, taking care of people. So, and I'm good with people, and I like interacting with them. So it just made the most sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. And just going more into that, just what type of player is this team going to be getting? Just not on the ice, but off the ice, in terms of just the type of person that you can be in a room for a team.
Well, I would call myself a social butterfly. I'm pretty bubbly. I like to talk a lot, and I'll always be out hanging out. I don't know. Yeah.
Uh, that's great. That's great. It seems like when once you make the jump to playing university, it seems like those things like your personality is gonna pay off very well, in terms of just you bonding with this team. Have you had a chance to talk to any of the players on the team at this point? Just have any of them reached out to you?
Well, like I said, since my sister's already there, I've really gotten to know her roommates, Paige Hubbard and Rachel. So, I really like them. And then I know I knew a few I played against in my grade 9 year. I played against Jenna Merck and who else? Oh yeah, she's not on her team anymore, but I also got to know like girls that played on her team prior because of Jane Kish. Got to know her, but yeah, they seem like good people, so I'm excited.
Just in terms of just getting to play with all these different people, not just from Saskatchewan, but different provinces and Canada, players that might be even coming from Europe, stuff like that. Just how excited are you to be able to play with all these different faces come 2022, 2023?
I'm pretty excited, and being from Notre Dame and all, a lot of the girls on my team are from all over the world. Like my goalie's from Russia, and I had some girls from the States. So, like I've gotten to know them. Like it'll be kind of this like the same adjustment, if you know what I mean. girls from all kind of thing.
Yeah, and just going into that, just what you've been able to experience with the Notre Dame Hounds, with it being a hockey school, just with you going, like you said, going through this experience already, kind of with meeting a bunch of different girls from across across the country and in different places. Just how do you feel like your time so far with the Notre Dame Hounds is going to really help prepare you to take that next step?
Well, yeah, Notre Dame is a school that like really, like you said, prepares you for like university and all. I didn't actually live in the dorms, but because I'm so close, I can just drive there.
Hmm.
But they're all their, even their academics, the people around me, like they get you ready for university. I find they are a little harder on you than most schools, so that really helps and will allow you to like grow before I guess some of the other people may have not. Like it'll be an easier step kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Just in terms of what the competition in this league has been like for you, and how you feel like the competition in the Saskatchewan Female U18 AAA Hockey League is going to prepare you to take that next step of being an effective player at the university level.
Yeah, there's some really good players in my league, and you'll see online like a lot of them are committing to NCAA, U Sport, or like post secondary school. So that just shows you how good our league is, and um, some of the girls have even gone on to Team Canada and all. So it's tough, yeah.
Yeah, and just speaking about the competition that you're excited to go against, I'm assuming, when you end up making that jump to playing at that university level. Of course, the division that you're playing in, the Canada West Conference, is a tough conference from what I've heard. Just how excited are you to be able to go out in 2022, 2023 and show your best stuff against the competition that you'll be going up against in the Canada West Conference?
Yeah, it is very exciting. Like I said before, even some of the girls on my team that I've played with in my grade 9 and 10 year, they've all gone on to play in this conference. I've got girls all over on the Pandas, U of S, where else? Trinity Western. Like it's gonna be crazy playing against all my teammates, and I know it's gonna be tough and weird, but yeah, it's gonna be a big step.
How excited are you to be able to have a chance to build up some friendly rivalries with some teammates that you might have played against, and teammates that or against girls that you might have played against in the Saskatchewan Female U18 AAA League, as well as some teammates that might be going to other places as well?
Yeah, it'll be weird. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I glitched out, but I said on the ice we'll be enemies, but after the game, of course, we'll be friends again. And yeah, some of the girls that even on the other teams I've played against or played spring hockey with kids, I'll even be facing. Like a few of my friends are committing all around now, so it'll be exciting, but also kind of.
Being able to go to the University of Regina, I'm assuming that you've had a chance to visit the city of Regina before, with just playing against the Regina Rebels in this league, and just with you being in Saskatchewan. Just what are you most excited to experience just living out in Regina when the time comes?
Uh, well, like I said before, I'm from a small town, so I don't really know what the city life is like to live with or to live at. So even just going to Regina, it's not a huge place, but it'll be a big step. But that's what I'm excited for the most, like trying a new place and seeing what it's like to live in a big city. But yeah.
In terms of just you having one more season in the Saskatchewan Female U18 AAA Hockey League, what is going to be the biggest goals for you heading into next season in terms of just continuing to develop as a player, continuing to develop your skill set?
Um, well, yeah. Since grade 9, I've just been trying to get better as a player every year and every year. But I want to get better for my team because hopefully we can make a run at the championship this year. So yeah, I don't know. I keep working as hard as I have been and going hard at if it's in the gym, shooting center we have at Notre Dame, or just at every practice, making my teammates better and myself better. So.
What do you feel is going to be the biggest factor in you being able to take that next step into being an effective player at the university level come the 2022-2023 season?
Hard work. I have to keep. I can't lay off the gas. I have to keep on pushing myself, and no matter what obstacles I may come I'll have to overcome to just be the best player I can be.
Yeah, and just in terms of your production throughout the years, let's just talk about the stats here. In your regular seasons, at least in the first season, you put up 16 points in 28 games. You ended up going into the playoffs too and putting up 6 points in 8 games that season. In 2019-2020, you put up 14 points in 29 games. And then this season, you were on pace to having a career year with 5 assists for 5 points in 4 games played. So just for you, coming in as a grade 9 and just looking at where you are at this point, just how would you say that you've been able to develop as a player? Like, in which areas have you seen your game probably take its biggest step?
Well, when I first came, well, I'm a centerman, so I was put on the wing with some grade 12s on my line, and I was I was probably getting knocked over the first couple games all the time. I didn't really know what I was doing, but then as the year went on, I got switched over to center, and my coach really like put trust in me and believed in me. So then that's what really like made a huge difference. Is I don't know, like I started having more confidence in myself, I think, and then I got better. So I had a great grade 9 year, and then I kind of just kept pushing in grade 10, and then this year as well, I came off even stronger than usual and have been doing pretty well so far. So yeah.
Welcome back to this edition of University Commits on Coffee with Graeme. I've been joined by Kaitlyn Gilroy, forward for the Notre Dame Hounds. She committed to the University of Regina for the 2022-2023 season. We've been talking about the commitment primarily in this interview so far. Now we're going to dive into her time with the Notre Dame Hounds a bit more. Just talking about your first season as a grade 9. Just what was that like coming into the league as an underage player going up against this older competition?
Well, I was really scared, of course, but I felt really welcome with all the grade 12s on my team. That really allowed me to get out of my shell a little bit, which I was so happy I had a good group of girls. And of course, like I said, my sister was on the team, so she really took me in and made me feel welcome. So yeah.
Yeah, and just we spoke about it earlier. Like, you got to play with your sister in your grade 9 season, and of course, with her taking you in and really making you feel welcome on the team, how huge was that really in year 1?
Yeah, it was really big, and she, I don't know, she like your a sister connection is huge, and yeah, my teammates are also my sister, but like I've known my sister my whole life, obviously, since I've been little, and it just that connection. If I need her help, she's there beside me, or if anything I need, I know she's there, and I have her by my side. Of course, the girls on my team, I got that connection by the end of the year, but at the start, I really knew I had someone with me. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Just being able to have that positive influence, just huge for you. Just talking about your game in that first year, what you brought not only to the offensive side of things, but defensively as well. Of course, you put up 10 assists. You were third on the team in assists and tied fourth in points. So you put up some solid production offensively. So both like offensively and defensively, how would you say that parts of your game stood out in that first year?
Uh, well, I was really well at, like I said, I'm more of a playmaker, so my line mates, I was able to help them out, putting the puck in the back of the net and setting them up. But on the defensive side, I tried my best to make sure that no one could get to the net, and I followed them. My coach, Craig Parrott, taught me like everything I know about our defensive play. So I don't know. I used my body a lot in the corners to keep them out as much as I could. So.
Well, you're where you were in your game, just going into playoffs and just in playoffs, it really showed. You were tied second in points on the team, tied second in goals, tied fourth in assists, and you were pretty physical too, tied first in penalty minutes on the team. Just going into your first playoffs, getting to play in 8 games, having a pretty lengthy run, making it to the semifinals. Just how was that playoff run like? Just looking back at it, getting to experience that so early on.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had tough competition. I remember going against the Saskatchewan Stars, who at the time who ended up going to SO Cup, and they had a very good lineup that year. So I don't think the Saskatchewan Stars had lost all year, and our team was really ready to go. We beat them for, I think it was their first loss of the year at their own rink. So we brought it back, but we fell short of course, because we didn't win. But yeah, it was crazy. We probably played our best games in playoffs. Our team did.
Yeah, and for you just being able to be so impactful as you were in playoffs, just how huge was that for your confidence, knowing that you could step up in the playoffs when your team needed you to?
Yeah, it was crazy. We 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 were playing every second day, and everyone was tired. Everyone was exhausted, but we kept pushing on, and I did my best as much as I could for my team, and I gave it my all. So yeah.
Moving into 2019-2020, you guys, ended up having a very strong end to the season, winning 6 games in a row before losing 2 straight, going into playoffs. Just for you, you were fifth on the team in points, tied fourth in goals, fifth in assists. Could you just speak about what the feel was with this team in that second year of just the team that you guys had?
Well, in grade 9, I was considered like the baby of the team. So as I got um I still was the baby of the team, because that year they didn't let any more underage players into our league. So I was still the youngest on the team again, but I felt like I played more of a role in even being like a leader to my team. Like everyone was a leader that year. Everyone played like their role, and we were really, I would say we were even closer that year. Girls that were already on the team, we were back together again, right? So
Right. Yeah. Could you just speak about the pieces that this team added? Of course, you guys added Ryan Parrott, who ended up winning the league's Rookie of the Year. Just adding players like that and Ryan Parrott and the other players that you added, just how huge were they to the team in terms of their contributions?
yeah, she did a lot for us that year. I think she got Rookie of the Year too, and
Yeah.
she in the back of the net. So she actually got put on with one of our grade 12s on their line, and then one of our defense came up to forward, and like somehow they had like the best connection ever, and they were really putting points up for our team. So she helped out a lot that year. Well, yeah. I'll be playing with her again next year too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just how excited are you to get next season started already with Ryan on the team and just the other returning players that you guys got coming into next year?
I'm super excited because of this year. We didn't really get a season or anything. We probably had 4 or 5 games. So I'm excited to have a full year. And yeah, we have a lot of veterans coming back. So we should have a pretty strong team, I think. And I think me, Peyton Evans, Ryan Parrott, Ellie Govan, Kira Merriman, our goalie, Yeva, Bailey Lindsay, our other goalie. We got a strong up for our fourth years or third years for some of them.
For you heading into next season, what would you say is the plan for you this offseason moving forward? Of course, you've had a chance to have an extended offseason like everyone else with just not being able to play games. Just first off, what have been the things that you have been working on the most during this time of being able to work on your skills?
Yeah, with no games, our coach and our trainer has really been pushing us hard in the gym to get stronger and gain strength. So we've been going really hard in the gym and the phone. And yeah, I can tell I've gotten a lot stronger, and we've been going to the shooting center a lot to improve obviously our skills. I think we hit over 100 practices this year, like
Wow.
100. So yeah, our development has gone up a lot, and you can even like tell it from some of the girls like at the start of the year, and by the end of the year they've improved like a bunch. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Just for you this season, you put up 5 points in 4 games played. Of course, 5 assists. You were fourth in points on the team, tied sixth in the league, and tied first in assists on the team with Bryn McLean, and tied first in the league. So for you at this point, just the games you were able to play in this season as a playmaker, just talking about your hockey IQ as a whole, where would you say that it is probably? Where would you say that that's taken probably the biggest step, your IQ, just talking about that?
yeah, of course, it's gotten a lot better since I've started. This will be my fourth year going in, and my coach has taught me most of what I know, or even like my bantam coach. But that's that plays a huge role in my play, my play type, because like I said, I need to see where everyone is and like visualize things beforehand in order to play the way I do.
What would you say this season in terms of your game really stood out, besides like the things like your playmaking ability and your IQ, but just the other things in your game, maybe something that you've been working on for a long time to improve, that really showed this season into being one of your strengths?
Well, like I said, since we were working so hard in the gym, I can tell I've gotten a lot stronger on the ice.
Yeah.
And like I would also call myself more of like a power forward, and I was able to use my body and like outpower some of the girls more than I could have in the past. And I've put on like a lot more muscle since my grade 9 year, so I use that to my ability.
That's great that you've been able to really get stronger and really improve a lot of aspects in your game from when you've started. I asked you about just what you guys have been working on in this extended off season, in this really odd 2021 year. So it's been very strange just not seeing hockey being played in leagues here around Canada. But just for you moving forward in your off season, just is the goal to continue to put on more strength, continue to do stuff like that?
Yeah, I also will probably work on a lot of my like hockey skills, like my shot and everything. And since I have gotten a lot stronger, I'm gonna keep my strength up, but also get my cardio going now. Going into the season, I have a couple months, but I also in August have my Team Sask Trials again, so
Right.
I'll have to get in shape for that. Yeah, a lot of like sleds and sprints and running I'll have to do to
Yeah.
get ready.
Yeah. How excited are you for that opportunity to go through that process of the Sask Trials?
Yeah, it's exciting. I've tried out, I think, for 2 or 3 years. I've done it since I've been able to, and yeah, it's a good experience to meet up with all the girls from all over Saskatchewan and get to know them better. So that's always fun.
That'll be awesome for sure to be able to go through that. Just for you guys next season with the talent that you guys have coming back. Obviously, for you seniors, the goal is to qualify for the SO Cup, I'm assuming. and win the league, of course, before doing that. Just what do you say the expectation is for you guys truly heading into next season as a team?
I think mostly just to hold everyone accountable for their putting their own like doing what they have to do in order to be that team and improve and get better. And I think the first thing we need to do, just like we did last year, is bond and get close. So the trust is like one of the biggest things. So as soon as we get trust, we'll be able to hold everyone accountable and push each other on the ice and do everything we need to do to get.
Making the world a better place is always a work in progress, because our idea of success is not an endpoint. It's a new milestone from which we can move forward. As industries rise and new technologies take shape, we're committed to keeping pace, to ensuring our innovations are shared and our journeys celebrated, even as we set our sights on where to go next. This is how we live, how we learn, how we grow. Red River College, what we're doing is working.
Joining me as the final guest in today's episode, returning to talk some junior hockey today. We had him on last time to talk about his high school hockey career. It's Dessy Plante. Dessy, how you been doing, man? I know you just got done playing a game of golf. How'd that go, bud?
It was good. Yeah. Sorry I'm late. It's the usual for people that know me, but yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun. It was nice weather, so we'll have to get out soon.
Yeah, for sure. You shoot a nice score, or was it one of those days where you're chopping some?
It was a chopping on the front nine and best back nine of the year. So I'll take that any day. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about how you start, it's how you finish, right? And it seems like you finished pretty good. So, yeah. We'll get into some hockey now. Just move away from golf. Just talking about your junior hockey career after your time spent with College, Belleville, and high school. You decide to go into the junior hockey lifestyle, play some junior hockey. Just what was that like? Just going into the MMJHL in your first year, after all your years spent in high school?
It was a lot different. Like I remember last time I mentioned how coming in like grade 10 as like a 14-year-old kid and playing against 18-year-old men was hard. And then try coming in thinking you look like a man or feel like a man at 17 and you're playing against 22-year-old men. These guys got a way bigger beard than UG show. These things were these guys were huge. And like the difference of skill level was the thing that impressed me the most. Like you had guys that played in the WHL, you had guys that played MJ, Saskatchewan junior hockey leagues, and then guys that played AAA in the province. And like they were, some of the skill in that league is incredible.
Yeah, no doubt. Just getting to play against some talent that played in the WHL, like you said, had chances to play in places like that. Just that transition into, of course, you got a chance to play against older guys in high school, like you said last time, and just like you just said, like you had a chance to go against men basically. What was that like at first, getting used to just that aspect of things, going up against men like that?
Yeah, the speed was like way different than playing in grade 10 compared to like playing grade 12. So it was crazy. It was crazy how fast it was. It wasn't even the speed of the game, like the skating, the plays, like it's just boom, boom, out. Everyone was just moving the puck, like, and the guy's shooting a lot harder. So if you're trying to go block a shot, it's like, oh man, I hope this doesn't hit me in the foot. It definitely took a learning curve. Like preseason, you're like, okay, this is men. The hits are harder, the guys are faster, the guys are bigger. The one thing I noticed was the intensity. You got a lot of testosterone on the ice, and it's just a bloodbath. But I loved every second of it. It was definitely a change of events, but definitely loved it for sure.
Yeah, and I've had a chance in the past to come out and watch some of the games that the Twins had because, of course, my uncle Marc Delanger has been involved with the Twins. We'll get into good old
Cool.
Marc Delanger in a bit, but yeah, just some of the guys in that league were mammoths, giants. Yeah, especially on Stonewall for a while there when I was watching. But yeah, just for you heading into preseason as that guy that is coming from high school, just trying to prove yourself and try to make a roster. You started off with the St Boniface Riels. What was that like heading into preseason for you? Just how you approached it?
Yeah, so the MM is kind of like area based. So wherever you live, you kind of dictates where you play. So I came from high school. A couple of my buddies saying, "Oh, let's go try out for the Riels." I'm like, "Ah, you know what? I wouldn't mind it. At least keep playing competitive hockey instead of beer league." So we go out there, and yeah, the preseason was tough because they had, I think, 14 returning vets at forward.
Yeah.
So there wasn't too much room to incorporate myself in the lineup or at least be a health bomb. So preseason was good, and the coaches kind of bring you in, and the practices, you got Nick Burmy, he's leading the team, and in practice, he's just grinding you down. You're like, okay, this guy is like, he's good. This league is good. So yeah, preseason was different. You kind of have to prove yourself. Gotta, like I said before, you gotta re-earn all that respect, and especially being a lot smaller guy against men, got to change it up, got to grind it out, got to be tough at least. And I think it did okay, but preseason, yeah, we played and I got cut after I think it was the 4th game. Thought I played well. The coaches brought me in. They said, hey, like, we got 14 returning skaters. So, like,
Yeah.
sorry, buddy. So that was tough, but it was good.
That's good. And just for you to get cut, obviously disappointing, but with that amount of returning talent up front, I felt like for you kind of thought that might have been a given at the time. But you ended up playing like 12 games at first with the Riels. How did that happen for you to get called back to being on that team's roster?
Oh, that was talk about a gone show of events. So I played on so before that season, before the training camp, I went down to Swan River, got asked to go try out for the Stampede. It did well. I thought I proved myself. I thought I worked my bag off. Clearly wasn't good enough, which is fair. It was a good experience, played exhibition games, and then came the Riels. They had too many guys that were keep coming back, so I got cut. And thankfully, the guy who recruited me to go to Swan, his buddy coached, he was the assistant general manager of the Twins. So I called him up. I'm like, hey, like I just got snipped from Riels. Didn't think it would happen. Is there anywhere you know or you could pull any strings? So he made a couple calls. They gave me a 1-game tryout. Gave me a 1-game tryout. The last exhibition, the game of the year. I come in and I'm playing with a guy I worked with, Cole Ferguson, Beauty, and Seth Nichols, because you had him on the show, right?
Yeah.
So Nichols was on my line, me and Fergie and him. So we had a great game, and yeah, just try to run around, be a hard-nosed guy, and it worked out for the best. And I got called to practice the next Monday. So, and then it went on from there.
Yeah, that's great. Just crazy how that happened. First you're in Swan Lake, and then you try out for the Riels, and then before you know it, you're on the Twins after getting a 1-game tryout, which is awesome. And I think I remember I was at that game because I was doing some goal judging where you keep track of shots and stuff of how many shots the Twins had, because that's what I was doing it for. And I'm pretty sure in that game you went up against your buddy Mac Gaggs, right? And
what a story! I can't believe you remember that. Yeah, I wouldn't remember. Hey, yeah. So we're at the Riels last skate. I had a brutal skate. Oh, I remember I walked off this, like, I just got cut. That was horrendous. That was pathetic. And I remember I got off the ice. We're going in the room to, like, do the meetings. And it goes me, and then it goes Gaggs. So me and him are like, oh, buddy, like, I don't know. Like, do you think we made the team? He's like, I don't know, man. Like, good luck, fist pump. I go in. I come out. I'm like, snip. He goes in. He comes out. He's like, snip. So we both got cut. And I guess he made some calls, and we both did. He called the River East Royal Knights guys, and playing D. They needed D. They didn't need forwards. So they brought him in, and then I called them. They said, hey, sorry, Des, like, we don't need any forwards. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. Have a good year. We end up playing against each other.
Yeah.
And we're in warm-up, and we're both looking at each other at the red line. I'm like, what's up, buddy? He's like, hey, man, good luck. I'm like, good luck, man. And, it was just it was a good game from there, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Just getting to go up against one of your great buddies, which was awesome. But just for you,
I can't believe you remember that, because I wouldn't have remembered. That was crazy.
yeah, just kind of popped up into my head. Yeah, it's but awesome memory for you both to be able to go up against each other in a game like that. But yeah, just once you were on the Twins team, I mean, just what was it like getting accustomed to the culture that they had?
So yeah, that was a little bit different for me. Like most teams that I've ever played on, I've known, like, I would say, like, good quarter, half the guys on the team. And St Boniface and Fort Garry they're not very close in area. So I go in this room, I knew two guys. I knew Riley Duma, beauty. Shout out Riley Duma. And then Sean Letzi, beauty. Shout out to Letzi. So I played on the high school elite team back in Belleville. So we'd go down to the States with a bunch of different guys from different schools. And those two guys were on the team. And we really kind of like gelled together, us three. They kind of knew each other because they lived beside each other. So I walk in the room, and all I remember is Duma looks at me. He's like, Plotter, what the hell are you doing here? I'm like, hey, man, 1-game tryout. What's up? And walked in. So it was great to at least know like one or two guys, and then my coworker, Fergie. But it was also, I really liked it because I knew no one else on the team. So it was like trying to just integrate myself and be a sponge, soak it all in. And you had captain was Dave Mack, greatest guy on earth. Yeah, Tyler Slobo, great guy. Ottawa, Zadaro, Bucci, Marquez. He golfs in Niagara now too. So they had their own little culture going there, and I just tried to be a sponge, fit in, do what I had to do the rookie duties. And they have that's one of the top-notch cultures I've ever been in coming into. Like, it was unbelievable. They treated everyone with respect, and they made the rookies do, like, so it wasn't that bad. It was like, hey, you got to do your rookie duty, so pick up pucks, sticks, and a lot of shampoo. But it was really good. They were just such a good group of guys, and I still talk to them all the time today.
Yeah, that's amazing. And like since you like talked to most of the guys today, it really does speak about just what type of group that team had in the dressing room. But let's talk about the on ice time that you got. I know that you talked about how you didn't get much ice time, but just speak about what it was like handling that adjustment of not getting as much ice time as you would have liked. Potentially.
Yeah. So those guys, when you go play like in the MM, like it's underrated. Like, you look at the roster, like you'll be looking at the other team's roster before the game. You're like, holy smokes, that guy's playing here. Guy from the Dub, or a couple guys played MJ or played AAA growing up that you heard of around town when they're really good as kids. So coming into that, I'm like, okay, I am definitely got to be a role guy. I'm not as skilled, or I'm not as talented, like, offensively as some guys on the team or in the league. So I gotta, because junior's 4 years, high school is 3, junior's 4. So I'm like, okay, I gotta grind it out. So started on the fourth line, more being a healthy scratch. So that was a little bit tough. But once you understand that, hey, I gotta be a role guy, I gotta suck up the pride, suck up the ego, grind it out, play in practice on the fifth line, and try to do what you can, be a good teammate, bring a good positive attitude. It really helped. Like me, Duma, and a couple guys, we rotated in and out of the lineup. So that's a lot different than when you played high school or anything else. You're not getting taken out of the lineup. This, like, coach sends a group chat text, hey, here's tomorrow's lineup. And you're like, oh, where's my name? Oh, I'm not playing it. Nice. So come in a suit, get your coffee. Probably made more friends with the Shack people than I did than my teammates some days. But no, it's definitely an adjustment, but at the same time, you got to think as, hey, I'm happy to be here. I'll be ready to go. If you need me to go one game or give me a call, I'm ready to go. If not, hey, I'll soak it and try to work hard in practice, get myself back in the lineup.
Yeah, and just speaking about that, just not being in the lineup for some games, just getting to wear the student tie for the whole duration of the game. Just what was that like? Just being able to experience that aspect of junior hockey.
Yeah, it's definitely an eye opener when you're like, wow, I'm not good enough to play, or I'm not playing tonight. Luckily, the Twins coaches, I give them full credit, like Marc and Neil Dawson there. At least they tell you the night before.
Yeah.
So I've been on teams that they don't tell you till you get to the rink, like 2 hours before, and you're like, are you kidding me? Like I could have came way later. But at least they tell you in the group chat, it's a Friday night, we're all 18. So they'd be like, okay, this is who's playing tonight at like 6 p.m. the night before. I'm like, okay, nice. I'm not playing tomorrow morning. Let's go out. Let's have a good time because I'm not playing. But yeah, it's different because you come in a suit, you got a coffee. It's a little bit embarrassing, to be honest with you, because you're not playing. But I like to make a joke about it. I text my buddies like, "Oh, health bomb tonight." I'm like, just be a positive attitude, be a good teammate. Like, I'd still go in the room sometimes after games or before games, after games, talk to the boys, give the boys fist pumps, all that. If anyone got in a fight, you best know me and another guy were videotaping that. And it also gives you a different look on the game too, sitting from the stand, seeing your team play. So you see your guys' tendencies, you see other teams' tendencies. Coaches come ask, "Hey, Planter, what'd you think of that first period?" So you kind of got to be on the ball. You can't just be on your phone eating popcorn. So yeah, it's definitely it's weird, but you just got to enjoy the moment, and it's out of your control as much as you can work as hard as you can, try to get back in the lineup. If not, be a positive teammate, be a good guy, and don't be all pity that, "Ooh, I'm not playing today." Just like I said, be a good guy and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And yeah, just great that you were able to keep that positive mindset for sure when some guys might have, like you said, kind of taken it the wrong way, like, taking it to heart. But it seems like you kept a positive mindset, which is great. Just in terms of you, when you were playing on the ice, like you said, you were a role guy, of course, just playing the role of like, playing on that fourth line, stuff like that. Just what was it like for you being able to do out there, and just how you were able to create when you got some opportunity?
Yeah, so the opportunity would always come. I know in warm up, me and the Dumas and the other guys of the fourth line, we were buzzing in warm up because we're like, hey, let's just rip around. Let's get some touches here because we're probably not gonna get too many.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you get in the game, it's like, hey, you can't make mistakes. I got it. Like if they're throwing me out there, there's two reasons. One, they need some energy, or three reasons. I'll say one, we need energy. Get out there, get the boys going. Two, be reliable. Get the puck out. Don't get the puck in our net. That's the other one, to give the other guys a break that they're rolling pretty hard. Or three, we're up like 5-1 or we're down 5-1, and they just say go out. So it was when your opportunity came, it was a little bit, you sometimes feel a little anxious because your legs are gone. If you haven't played in 20 minutes, it's a little bit tough to get going, but you just got to embrace going out there, treat every shift like it's your last, because you don't want to make a mistake and then not see the ice for another 10, 15 minutes. So yeah, it was just more be reliable. Don't be making saucer passes up the middle. Get it deep, get shots on net, get whistles, make hits, get the guys going. And then if you did your job, the coach would see that, he'd put you guys back out there. So it was, some games were better than others and some games weren't too good, but it was a great time.
Now, I gotta ask you about this. My uncle, Marc Delanger, of course, you love him. Everybody who I know seems to love that guy. Great hockey mind, of course. Just I gotta know. What was your first impressions of Marc Delanger?
Well, when you see him come in with his bald ass head and he's walking all like mean mug, and I'm like, okay, this guy means business. So with the Twins, they would have practices Monday and Wednesday night. Monday night, Marc wasn't there. So when Marc wasn't there, get on the ice for a little sweat, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, horseshoe, saucer passes, work on some skill. So me and the fourth line guys were just ripping around in practice to get some time on the ice. But So that was just a like skills practice, get the hands going, whatever, just have a good time out there. Then Wednesday, that's when Marky was there. One of the brightest, smartest system coaches I've ever seen. This guy had fort check plays. He had D-zone plays. He had neutral zone plays, neutral zone regroup, PK. Like, I'm sitting on the board, I'm watching him. I'm like, wow, like that's genius.
Yeah.
And I got a story. I got two stories with Marc. One was I usually played center for the last couple years in high school, and then I got switched to the wing. I'm not very good on the wing. When getting the puck out wasn't great, especially playing against bigger guys, wasn't too good at it. So couple shifts are going, puck on my stick, miss, puck on my stick, couldn't get it out, puck on my stick, couldn't get it out. I come back to the bench and I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm gonna get it. So I come to the bench and all I see is Marc. He's like, and you know his look is big. He's like, I come and I'm like head down, just like, oh, everyone's tapping me on the butt and they're like, or on the back, they're like, hey,
Yeah.
walk there, and Marc grabs all the D that are on the bench, and he looks at me. He's like, he grabs the whiteboard. He's like, Plante, you see this? You see the boards with the hash marks? I do not want to see you there one more time today. And then he looks at the D. He's like, Des, you're gonna float in the zone. Do not go to the wall. D, if he's on the wall, do not pass him the puck. We're not doing this with him today. I'm like, okay. Next shift, did it. Boom, boom, out. We scored. I was like, okay. I come to Marky. I'm like, give him a little fist pump. He's like, yeah, you see what I mean? I know what I'm doing. So he's a great systems coach, and he gets into it. He cares. Like, we'd have video sessions, and he would put them on YouTube when we go to like Carbone Cafe, and he'd put the header would be like, he wouldn't call guys out names, but he'd call them out like number 18, horrible back check. And he would show the clip, put the guy on blast in front of the whole team. And it was good because you need a guy that like shows you systems, builds structure. And that's why the Twins were so good, because they had a great coaching staff, including Marc.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's a hilarious story. I was cracking up quite a bit when you were telling.
I got one more with Marky. Yeah. So we're playing the Vicks. The Vicks are like the number one team in the league. They have this kid called Riley Beauchemin. Disgusting. He's so good. We're in the room, and it's me, Duma, and I think there's another kid on our line, fourth line. And he walks in the room, and he's standing like this, and he's like, all right, we're playing one of the best teams in the league. The fourth line guys, if you make a mistake tonight, you're not playing. You're not playing tonight. And I'm like, okay. Like, he's like, he used a couple words, don't whatever, F up. And I'm like, all right. Like, I'll try our best. So we're playing. So this is like our 5th game of the year in Fort Richmond. Not many of my friends would come watch my games because it's like 25, 30 minutes away. So it was just my parents. So I text all my buddies. We get the text the night before. Plante in the lineup. I'm like, yes. Okay. I'm inviting all my buddies. I invite like 6 or 8 guys to the game. Okay. Our first shift. So it's my parents, 6 or 8 buddies are coming to watch me play at least some shifts. And our first shift was the 17th minute of the first period. So like 3 minutes in.
Yeah.
We go on, me, Doom, and another guy. We're buzzing. We're cycling down low, boom, boom, boom. Puck goes off a D stick, B-way to Beauchemin. Hits the post. Okay? Yeah. Hits the post. I'm like, oh, thank God. At least I'll get another shift. Marc, I come back to the bench. Marc doesn't say a thing. After that shift, which is the 16th minute and 22 seconds, I remember all my friends and my family come walking down the aisle. I'm like, okay, they're all here to watch. Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see another shift. I got one shift that whole game. Me and Duma, we were bench working both benches for the whole game.
Yeah.
And we lose the game, and Marc comes out. He's like, I told you guys. One mistake, you're not playing. So it was funny. It sucked in the moment, but at the time, it was after it was fun to look at. But that's what you got to look at. You got to you look at it now, you're going to be all pissed off. You kind of make a joke about it, then make it a little bit better. So it was good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, those are classics. It's always going to be awesome to have these on video forever, to always look back and hear these stories about my uncle, because yeah, he's very passionate about what he does, and obviously
Great
it paid
coach.
off.
Great
Yeah,
coach.
great coach. Great coach. I'm pretty sure he won back-to-back ships with the Twins back in the day when he was the head coach of the team. But yeah, we'll move on from your first year with the Twins. We'll come back after the break and continue talking junior hockey with the man himself, Dessy Plante, on this edition of Coffee with Graeme. Stick with us. We're gonna throw it to a commercial break here. We'll be back with you in a sec, or in a moment.
Why go solar? Solar is better than ever. Our revolutionary design and inverter equipment with the latest in solar panel technology for the ultimate in-home and business security. That's right, I said security. Grid security and security of your home are linked. Fortify your future today with a battery backup system. No maintenance, quiet running. Did you know in Manitoba, grid-connected, off-grid, and battery backup systems are 100% right off in the year you purchase for any company or farm? Do you want to back up your internet, keep your tills running, and the lights on? We can install a system that is right for you, with battery backup fully capable of taking on all those essential loads and keeping you running. When you call our experts at Evolve Green, ask about getting your free energy audit today. Call or email today to find out what system works best for you. 1-866-5EVOLVE or support@evolvegreen.ca. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.evolvegreen.ca.
Welcome back to this edition of Coffee with Graeme, of course, joined by Dessy Plante, junior hockey player, former Fort Garry Twin, former St Boniface Riels, and now playing in the Hanover Tache Junior Hockey League with the Springfield. Yeah. We were just talking about his first year in the league with the Twins in the first part of our interview with him, and we reflected on some. He told me some Marc Delanger stories, my uncle Marc, and yeah, they were pretty awesome stories that I'll remember forever. They were pretty awesome, pretty entertaining. I was cracking up quite a bit, but yeah, let's move into your first year still of junior hockey in the MMJHL. And I know that I said that you started with the Riels, you ended up getting cut by them, and then you ended up on the Twins. So you didn't actually start on them, you started with the Twins. And then you ended up getting traded to the Riels in that season, correct?
I don't know if trade is the right word, but it's I like to call it I was picked up off waivers.
I see.
So yeah, that was a weird. That sucked. Like I didn't want to leave the Twins. Like I said, what a group of guys. Like I didn't know many people on the team, and I still talked to a bunch of them. The rookie group they had was awesome. The vets were unbelievable. Every guy on the team was just a beauty. Like they were great guys, great team, organization, and everything. So what happened was it's around Christmas time, and that's when the Dub was making their cuts or like their releases. And I remember I hosted a party 4 days before I got cut. So in the end, they have like 2 cut dates. The first cut is like you have to bring your roster down to 25 at a certain point in the year. And then before Christmas, it's like 20, or after Christmas, it's like 23. So you got to bring everyone down to 23. So we're at the party and they're talking to us like, oh man, one of our buddies that grew up with us, Jack Cowell, he's coming. He might be coming to our team. They got to make a trade for him because someone has his rights, but I think he's coming back. And I'm just sitting there like, ooh, dang.
Yeah.
So happens to be the kid comes back and talk about one hell of a hockey player. I skated with him a couple times at practice. I'm like, this guy's so gross. He's so good. And yeah, coach brings me in, says, hey man, I'm sorry. Like, we like you as a guy and a player in the room, whatnot. But we have a chance to bring in a guy from the Dub. Sorry we gotta let you go. And I was like, hey, you know what? No worries. Like, it sucks, but like at the same time, you got to understand your role on the team, and they're an organization. You get a guy from the dub, or you get a guy that played high school his whole year, they're probably going to take the guy from the dub. So, but with that, it sucks because I had to leave that team in that environment. But then I got to go to my not hometown team, but home area team, the Riels, and I actually got an opportunity to play. So I was playing minutes, and I knew a bunch of guys on the team, and yeah, they brought me in with open arms. They had a good group of guys. They kind of cleaned house after that year, and then things really popped off after that, and it was it was a lot of fun after that, that's for sure.
For you to be able to get the opportunity to play big time, of course, being in the lineup consistently, just being able to go out there and show what you're made of, with you being a grinder and stuff, what you can add to the line you're playing on. Just how huge was that for you to get that opportunity in that year of just showing what you were able to do?
Yeah, no, for sure. It was great because I didn't have to wait. If I was at Twins, would have to wait a year or two. I just got right into it, and it really helped adjusting to the league, the speed, the players, the skill, the physicality. It really helped being able to get right into it, thankfully, in my first year. And being able to show the coaches even though I'm a small guy, I'm not a wuss. I can go out there, I'll try and bang bodies, I'll try and do the same thing, play my game, north-south, be a POS, and try to at least help offensively, and then maybe take more of a checking line role, and at least try to, and play defensively, play PK. And then, yeah, that year it's the enforcer rule didn't start that year, but it definitely kickstarted it, because word started getting around that I used to box and was the champ there. So one game, the guys and the coaches were like, "Oh, like, so you box?" Like, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Really?" Like, looking at me, and they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I do."
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay, like, let's see it. Like, go ask that guy to go." I'm like, "All right." So there was one guy who played on the team prior, like 2 years prior, and they had a bad end of the relationship with the guy in the team. So no one really liked him. So I said, go take him. So I go. I look at him like, "Hey," like yelling at him, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." He wouldn't go, and then some guy, he's about 6'3", comes beside me, and he taps me on the head. And to a short guy, if you tap someone on the head and say "F off," short guy, la la, and gives you a tap on the head, it's the utmost disrespectful thing to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
I remember I look at Rye or someone, I look at him, and he's like, "Yep, go do it." Like, he gave me the okay to do it, so he had to take a penalty. And we went at it, gave him a good tilt. And I think that opened eyes of guys on the other team, and more opened guys' eyes on our team. Like, okay, this guy's not he can play here. He can play here. So we come back in the room, and coach walks in, and he's like, "Hey, boys, like, that's what we need on this team. We need guys sticking up for themselves, some toughness, a lot. So right after that fight, I was like, okay, like, the coaches like me for this. And it really helped kind of solidify my role in the lineup, being able to be a defensively reliable guy, get pucks deep, be a PK guy, and then if needed to be throw them. So yeah, it really helped. It helped the role that year for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Just getting to show what your nickname on Instagram or on Twitter. I don't know which one. I forget, but Mini Mayweather. Mini Mayweather is the nickname you roll with.
Yeah. It came back to bite me a couple times because, like I said, playing against men, a hockey fight's a lot different than a boxing fight. So I took in a couple, that's for sure. But yeah, it's all about trying to, like, once I decide that's going to be my thing and be that bottom guy that can work hard and then defend his teammates and himself, and it's what it is.
Just moving into your next season with the team in 2019-2020, you were able to play in 41 games. You put up a goal, 6 assists, 7 points, 34 penalty minutes. Just what was that like, getting in almost a full year of regular season games with this team, just furthering your development as a player in the league?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, it first off, it was a great feeling being able to see your name in the lineup every night. That means you're doing something. So if that's in the room, on the ice, on the bench, defending teammates, whatever it is. At least I'm doing something to stick in the lineup and other guys over other people. So that was great to see. And yeah, it was just, I'd say it was a confidence booster for the most part. So you'd come in, you'd see your name on the lineup, like I said, and then you get to play your game. You get to go. You don't get to during the middle of the year when we're trying to fight for a playoff spot. I'm doing my role. So it really helped out, I think, for our line and mentoring younger guys too. So guys like Trent Thornton, they put on our line, a couple other young guys, and kind of just tell them like, hey man, like don't be pissed off, don't be sour if you're gonna be playing here. Just don't worry about it. Play your role, play our line's role, and we'll get more ice time. And some games it really happened, some games it didn't. But 41 games is a long season, so like I said, being able to get in the lineup every game definitely gave me a lot more confidence with the puck and just getting adapted to the game style and everything. Yeah, it really helped out.
And just the culture in that second year, of course, you said like the coaches opened you with open arms when you made the move to playing with the Riels when you got released by the Twins. Just comparing cultures, I know like you spoke so highly about the Twins culture, but what was the Riels culture like compared to that?
Yeah, when I came from the Twins and then I came to Riels that first year, it was a little bit off. It wasn't wouldn't say it was bad, great group of guys and all that, but it was kind of, I guess I got there when the team was already out of the playoff spot on a 10-game losing streak. The room's probably not going to be great. So that summer they cleaned house. A lot of guys aged out, and I finally got to get more accustomed to my teammates at like team banquets, golfing, and whatnot. We brought in a lot of young guys from the area that everyone knew, and then we really had a culture starting with Nick Burmy, all those guys. Ben Curtin for sure was a big one. Livy, Boosh. They brought in just not just good hockey players, but they brought in like excellent people. So like guys like Boosh, Livy, Kurtz, Alec Borgia was there too. Langer, Joe. Ooh, there's a list of guys. But they brought in, like I said, not just great hockey players, but great people. And that to have a good culture, you got to bring in good guys. So they brought that in, and it made such a difference on the ice and in the room. Like our record didn't show for it. I thought we were a lot better team than we were that year, but we were a really young team, so we had to play a lot of young guys, adapt to it, but culture-wise, it was night and day difference.
Yeah, that's great that you were able to see that culture really come to fruition in that second season with the team. For you in your season this year, 2020, 2021, just you were on the Twins roster at first. It was listed there. You played 0 games, and you ended up getting cut from the Twins, and then getting the opportunity to play with Springfield. Is that how it went?
Whoa, another suitcase story here. You're making me look bad, G-Show. I'm kidding. It's like I'm not even trying to make fun of myself. It's the only way to look at it, because if you look at it with bad attitude, you're gonna be one sour human being. So gotta live for it. Whatever happens, happens. Can't control, you can't control. So start of the year, when I knew that it was like not gonna be great to make the team, at least stay on the team, is when they made a switch from visors to bubbles.
Right.
So my role on the team the year before was, okay, if I got to spark up the boys, I'm going to go fight. If I got to defend a teammate, me and other guys, coaches don't got to tell us that. It's our own culture in the room. We defend our teammates, not just me, not just other guys. Everyone defends each other. So, but that was more, I was in the lineup for being a PK guy, being a role guy. And then if need be, if someone's going out of line of the team, we'll take care of it, win or lose, whatever. So when we put they took visors away, that changed the whole game. That changed everything. Because when you play with a visor on, you cannot be yappy. You can't be running around. Because I remember my first year, I hit some guy, and his name was Kale Chenna. He comes up to me, and he looks at me, and he's like, "You do that one more time, I'm going to take a 4-minute penalty and take your front row out with no question." With my stick. So thinking of that, when you have your visor up to here and my whole face is exposed, I'm not going to be running around doing stupid stuff, right? It changes the whole game. It keeps everyone super disciplined. And then if you are going to be that guy, you can get sticked, you can get punched, whatever it is. So when that happened, that they changed from visors to bubbles, it opened the doors for a lot more younger guys that could take my role, could take my spot, other guys' spots. And that was the problem, I thought, for me, at least, why I didn't get the fair shake on that. And love the Riel guys. I love the team. I love the guys on that team. Those guys are just great guys. I still hang out with all of them. Most of them. I still talk to a lot of them. And that year, what happened? Bubbles came around. Training camp comes around. We all get COVID contacts. For one guy had a COVID on the team, so almost all the vets were out for 14 days. All the rookies got to come skate still because they weren't on that ice time that we were there. And they got to really prove themselves. So then when guys like me and Kurtz or Gilly, whatever came back, first off, haven't been on the ice in 2 weeks. There's no bubbles. The younger guys obviously looked a lot better and they're great hockey players. So when they came in, we came back, didn't look like they were going to go younger. And I asked the coaches for an opportunity. And no hard feelings. It's hockey, it's organization. So I asked for an opportunity. Hey, like, I've been here 3 years. I want to play. I don't want to just be playing fourth line. Maybe give me an opportunity. 3 years. I've done a lot, fought, whatever. And they decided to go a different route with me and other guys. I get, luckily, thanks to Jay, he gave me an opportunity to go to the Twins. I go there, didn't pan out too great, didn't have a great game. And then next thing you know, I'm in Springfield.
Yeah. And you showed you were able to play an effective role in that league, with 1 assist in those 3 games played, 17 penalty minutes. Just what was that like, getting that opportunity to show that you can still be that enforcer out there, that junior hockey enforcer, and be able to put up a point too in those 3 games?
Yeah. So big difference, to be honest. So when like I said, I was super sour about the whole Riels thing and how that was all handled, but no hard feelings. Things happen. It's not, can't control that. So still got much love for all those guys there and the Twins. But then I know Quinn texted me and Gag saying, and a couple other guys like Stelsmachuk and Trudell, hey man, come play Springfield. We'd love to have you. They would like, you'll play. You don't got to be a fourth line guy. You don't got to fight, nothing. Like, come play. So I go out there, and it's a little bit different game style, but it made me really fall in love with like playing hockey again, because the last 2 years or 3 at with Twins and Riels, Twins, I was a health bomb all the time. And then when I go to Riels, I played a lot of games, but I didn't get too much ice time or opportunity, which is fine. That was my role. But then, so hockey was more like I had to be more impact in the room when I was there. So to make myself a valuable piece, be a room guy, get the boys going, get the music, be a bench guy, whatever. But I kind of lost touch of playing hockey because I wasn't playing too much. You know what I mean? If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So then when I go to Springfield, I remember our first preseason game, I go out there and I think I played more shifts in the first period than I did in like a game. Just rolling like boom, boom, boom. And it made me fall in love with like playing a game. Like I felt I got way more confidence. Like I could carry the puck up the ice. I could actually get some time and space. I could shoot. And it made you feel loved, to be honest. Yeah. That's what it was. It gave me a lot more love for the game. And because hockey's not about obviously being the guy in the room or being an enforcer or whatnot. It's playing hockey. So going there, and thanks God to Augie and the rest of the coaching staff and Cal and the boys for bringing me out there, because I love it. It's great. So be with those guys and actually play hockey and be an hopefully offensively impactful player is great. So I love my time. Our year got cut short, unfortunately, and throughout those 3 games, it was great. Wish the fans could have been there because they kind of COVID kind of stopped that. But I can't wait for next year. I really can't wait for next year.
Yeah, and it's gonna be awesome because like you got to reunite with Quinn Keller and Mac Gagliardi, Gags, and Cal, which is awesome. Just that feeling of getting to reunite with those boys. I mean, just probably like you've hinted at, a heck of a feeling.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like I said, it brought me back a lot more joy. Like, I remember after one of our first games, like I think it was our second game we played at home, and I come home and my dad's like, "Wow, like it's the best game I've seen you play in like 3 years." I'm like, "Well, that's what happens when I get some ice time." Like a little bit of confidence, a little bit of trust in the coaches, and yeah, it's just going out there having fun. And like I said, you get to bring my energy to a new room, new group of guys with guys I already know. So it couldn't be a better spot for me. Very happy to be there.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys are going to have a chance to add some more talent heading into next season. Just this was a team the year before you joined that I believe they were the top team in the league. For how excited are you to see next season in your final year the young talent that this team is going to bring in, along with how the experienced vets are going to be for you guys?
Yeah, it's like that's one thing with junior hockey is you guys age out, so you got to bring in new talent. Guys got to step up. So yeah, losing guys like the 99 age group, I feel really bad for them because the year before they would have won the championship. COVID. Then this year we play 3 games. COVID. They don't get their year back. I felt really bad. So this year, like the one thing I'm taking from this G show is not even with hockey, but just life in general, is enjoy the moments. Like I said, this like your 4 years, this is all I've known for the last 4 years. New chapter is going to start after this, but I don't want to think about that next chapter because I'm still living in the present. Kawhi Leonard put it perfectly. He said when he got traded to Toronto, they're like, "Oh, do you want to stay here? Do you miss being in San Antonio?" Lala. And he looked at someone and said, "Well, if you're thinking about the past and you're thinking too much about the future, guess what? You're missing out on actually living life in the present time." So that's what I'm going to try and do. Enjoy every moment, be a good person, be the best teammate you can, best guy on the ice. And I'm really looking forward to our team this year because we got a bunch of us from high school that are playing together being vets. We're going to bring in some younger guys. And the big thing I'm going to leave with is leave it all out there. I ain't going to the show. So this is the last kick of the can for competitive hockey until beer league after this. So the big thing I'm going to take away from it is be the best person you can be because like I said before, I don't know if I said in the last interview, people aren't going to look at your stats. They're not going to look at your awards, your record, lot of. They're going to look, hey, was he like if someone asks about you, hey, was he a good guy? Was he a good teammate? Was he a good dude? Yeah, that's how I want to be looked at if someone asks about me or looks back on that. So that's what kind of energy I'm going to bring to the team and the whole environment, and hopefully everyone has a good time. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see what you guys can do next year. And I love that quote from Kawhi. I've never heard it before until tonight. Just it's perfectly put. Like, you got to live in the present. And you know what, Des? When the season does roll along and you guys are getting set to go, I think it would be awesome to have not only you, but Quinn and Maddie on the show. That would be awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you go, man. It is late. I do have a doctor's appointment in the morning, so gotta get up for that. But I'm gonna let you go. We're going to go to another commercial break here in the show. This was Desmond Plante, of course. I like to call him Desi, Mini Mayweather, whatever you want to call him. Join me on this edition of Coffee with Graeme. We're gonna throw it to another commercial break. We'll be right back on this edition of the show. Stick with us, and yeah. Peace out, Des.
Thank you.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.
Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Of course, Dessy Plante, forward for the Springfield Xtreme, joined me on today's edition of the show, along with Tristan Peters and Kaitlyn Gilroy. I want to thank Tristan, Kaitlyn, and Dessy for joining today's episode. I also want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in today, and I also want to thank our sponsors in Purinata, Fabricland Winkler, and Evolve Green for sponsoring today's edition of Coffee with Graeme. I'll be back on the network next week on Tuesday, hopefully. Fingers crossed that we can get a Tuesday episode out, but if there is a Tuesday episode, you guys know when to watch it. It's at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time on our Facebook at ASTV Productions, or you can also check it out on our website at astvproductions.com. But until next week on Tuesday, folks, I've been your host, Graeme Forsyth, signing off now. Until I see you next week on Tuesday, have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Stay safe out there, and have a wonderful weekend as well. Peace, guys.